Hello, this is Crystal Marshall from martialartstudiophotography.com. We are outside to talk about nature photography and especially close-up macro photography. I have my trusty 105mm 2.8 macro lens, but most people don't have that. In fact, it probably took me about 5 years to get to that point to get there. So I'm going to teach you what the difference between a macro lens and a regular lens is, and how you can shoot fairly the same amount of shots with a regular 50mm or a 35mm at home without any special equipment. So stay tuned. So we're out here in the backyard. My kids were gone with my husband this morning, and so I got to have about an hour to myself, so I was so excited. Okay, so we're out here. I'm going to take some leaf photos of this tree. I love how the light is coming in really nicely from the sunrise. And I'm going to show you with my macro lens first how I do it, and then I'm going to switch to the 50mm. I always try to check my settings before I do this. 250 f3, even though this is a 2.8, sometimes it only goes to f3, which can be a problem when you're in a low light situation. I really love how these leaves are multicolored here. We have some red spots on them. I'm going to shoot. Now, a macro lens will just bite that focus so nicely, where a regular lens might be having trouble finding that spot that it really wants. To do good nature photos, you want to have the subject in either corner. You don't want to have it right in the middle. It just doesn't make a very interesting photo. I also maybe peek around some other leaves, and so I have kind of blur of some other leaves on the side, so it just kind of makes your eyes focus on what you want to focus on. But I'm going to show you how to do all of those things with a regular lens. Okay, so I'm out here in the same spot with my nifty 50mm, 1600 shutter speed, 1.4 aperture, ISO 250. Let's see how that goes. So I am having trouble already biting the focus because it's not really made for this type of thing. But what I do is usually I have it on autofocus because I'm blind as a bat, honestly. And so I switch it to manual, and then I can adjust the ring, focus ring, as I want to. Alright, I really like that. That was just a couple using the actual lens on the camera. Now let me show you a trick. Now not a lot of people know about this, but I discovered this pretty early on when I wanted to take some really close-up photos without having to drop $700 on a macro lens. So let me show you. You first take the lens off. Be really careful with this. You flip it over like this. This is called reverse lens. Then you are the focus you are the aperture mechanism here. Let's see. You have to have it on manual to do this. Your camera will not work on automatic without, and as I'm opening up the aperture ring here, I'm actually seeing it go light, dark, light, dark. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so I'm going to take a photo. Now you have to be super close to this, like pretty much touching it. Hitting that focus is really hard. That's really cool. Now, they do make these rings online. I can put a link on the bottom that actually attaches your lens to your camera. And so you have the ability to, I'm going to try without the focus ring. The lens hood, so it's closer. So they do make rings online, and it's like an extending ring that you can put a kit lens or something on. And I can put a link to that, but I just didn't have one. So I want to show you what to do if you don't have one. this thing you can do with this is honestly, you have this really beautiful creamy bouquet. You could use that as like a background or like a slide or something. So here you can see some shots that I took using my reverse lens technique. I think it was really cool how, I mean honestly, just the light, it's really about the light shining through behind the leaves. I got some really beautiful flare, and just noticing the beauty about every little bit, little dot, just really opens up your world. So that's an encouragement for you. It's a little 5-minute tip how to use reverse lens with a 50mm, or try it with a 35mm, which I've never done that before. But again, this is Crystal Marshall from marshall.studiophotography.com, and that was my 5-minute tip on macro photography without a macro lens.